it's Mundo Monday, coming you today from inside the belly of a whale. All over the world, people have told stories about getting eaten. Last week we saw Nancy, Spider-Man from Ghana, swallowed by a fish. And the week before that we saw Ishin Bosi, the 1-inch boy from Japan, swallowed by an ogre. Luckily, they both escaped. But nobody wants to be eaten. That's why all around the world, people have told stories about clever people who use their wits to avoid being eaten in the first place. First, we will go south to Mexico to meet a clever little lamb. This is a story, Borreguita and the Coyote, by Verna, Aardema, illustrated by Petra Mathers. Borquita and the Coyote, a tale from Ayotla, Mexico. On a farm at the foot of a mountain, there once lived a little ewe lamb. Her master called her simply Borquita, which means little lamb. One day, Borquita's master tied her to a stake in a field of red clover. The lamb was eating the lush plants when a coyote came along. The coyote growled, "Grrr, Borquita, I am going to eat you." Borquita bleated, "Bah, bah. Oh, Senor Coyote, I would not fill you up. I am as thin as a bean pod. When I have eaten all this clover, I shall be fat. You may eat me then." Coyote looked at the skinny little lamb in the wide clover field. "Está bien, that is good," he said. "When you're fat, I shall come back." After many days, the coyote returned. He found the lamb grazing in a meadow. He growled, "Grrr, Borquita, you are as plump as a tumbleweed. I'm going to eat you now." Borquita bleated, "Meh, meh, Senor Coyote, I know something that tastes ever so much better than lamb." "What?" asked Coyote. "Cheese!" cried Borquita. "My master keeps a round of cheese on his table. He eats it on his tacos." The coyote had never heard of cheese, and he was curious about it. "How can I get some of this cheese?" he asked. Borquita said, "There's a pond at the end of the pasture. Tonight, when the moon is high, meet me there, and I will show you how to get a cheese." "Está bien," said Coyote. "I will be there." That night, when the full moon was straight up in the sky, Borquita and Coyote met at the edge of the pond. There, glowing in the black water, was something that looked like a big, round cheese. "Do you see it?" cried Borquita. "Swim out and get it." Coyote slipped into the water and paddled toward the cheese. He swam and swam, shlu, 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 but the cheese stayed just so far ahead. Finally, he opened his mouth and lunged. Whoosh! The image shattered in the splash. Pond water rushed into Coyote's mouth. Coughing and spluttering, he turned and headed for the shore. When he reached it, the little lamb was gone. She had tricked him. Coyote shook the water off his fur, fluff, 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 and then he looked up at the big cheese in the sky and howled, "Oh!" At dawn the next day, Borquita went to graze near a small, overhanging ledge of rock. on the side of the mountain. She knew that the coyote would be coming after her, and she had a plan. As the sun rose over the mountain, Borreguita saw the coyote coming. He was sniffing along with his nose on some trail. She crawled under the ledge and lay on her back, bracing her feet against the top. When the coyote found her, he growled, "Grrr, Borquita, I see you under there. I'm going to pull you out and eat you." Borreguita bleated, "Bah, bah, Senor Coyote, you can't eat me now. I have to hold up the mountain. If I let go, it will all come tumbling down." Coyote looked at the mountain. He saw that the lamb was holding it up. "You are strong," said Borreguita. "Would you hold it while I go for help?" The coyote did not want the mountain to fall, so he crept under the ledge and put up his feet. "Push hard," said Borreguita. "Do you have it now?" "I have it," said Coyote, "but hurry back. This mountain is heavy." Borreguita rolled out from the shallow cave and went leaping and running all the way back to the barnyard. Coyote held on to the rock until his legs ached and he was hungry and thirsty. At last he said, "Even if the mountain falls, I'm going to let go. I can't hold any longer." Coyote dragged himself out and covered his head with his paws. The mountain did not fall. Then he knew the little lamb had fooled him again. Coyote sat on his haunches and howled, "Oh!" The next morning, the coyote hid himself in a thicket in the lamb's pasture. When she drew near, he sprang out with a woof, and he said, "Borreguita, you will not escape this time. I'm going to eat you now." Borreguita bleated, "Bah, bah, Senor Coyote, I know I deserve to die, but grant me one kindness. Swallow me whole, so that I won't have to suffer all the biting and chewing." "Why should I make you comfortable while I eat you?" demanded the coyote. "Anyway, I couldn't swallow you all in one piece even if I wanted to." "Oh, yes you could," cried Borreguita. "Your mouth is so big you could swallow a cougar. Open it wide and I will run and dive right in." Coyote opened his mouth wide and braced his feet. Borreguita backed away, then she put her head down and charged. Bam! She struck the coyote inside the mouth so hard she sent him rolling. "Ow! Ow! Ow!" howled the coyote as he picked himself up and ran away, his mouth feeling like one big toothache. From that day on, Borreguita frisked about the farm at the foot of the mountain, and Coyote never bothered her again.
Look at that beautiful clover field. It's so dark and gooey in the belly of a whale. I wish I wasn't eaten.
Well, in our next story, hiding somewhere gooey is what keeps us from being eaten. This story is called Grandma and the Great Gourd, a Bengali tale, retold by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, illustrated by Susie Pilgrim Waters.
Bengali. Bengali is a culture and language from eastern India.
Over here.
That's where Bengal tigers are from.
There's a tiger in this book.
Does it eat anyone?
Oh, you'll have to see. Grandma and the Great Gourd. A Bengali folktale. Once upon a time, in a little village in India, there lived an old woman whom everyone called Grandma. She loved gardening and had the best vegetable patch in the village. Grandma lived by herself in a little hut at the edge of the village, next to a deep, dark jungle. At times, she could hear herds of elephants lumbering on forest paths, thump, 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 or giant lizards slithering over dry leaves, crush, crush. She didn't mind because she had 2 loyal dogs, Kalu and Bulu, to protect her. They also helped her with the garden chores. One day, Grandma received a letter from her daughter who lived on the other side of the jungle. "Please come and visit me," said the letter. "I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you." Grandma missed her daughter too, and she decided to visit her. She was a little scared about traveling through the jungle where so many fierce animals lived, but then she said, "What's life without a little adventure?" She packed her things and said goodbye to her dogs. "Don't worry, boys," she told them. "I'll be back soon. Don't forget to take care of my garden." "Woo, woo," said the dogs. "We won't forget. We'll chase away all the wild animals and we'll listen for you. If you get in trouble, just call for us." As Grandma was traveling through the jungle, she came upon a clever red fox. "Ah, Grandma," he said, baring his pointy teeth and smacking his lips. "How nice of you to arrive just when I am so hungry." Grandma's heart went yip, 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 but she didn't let the fox see how nervous she was. "If you're planning to have me for breakfast," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how skinny I am? I'll be a lot plumper on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then if you like." "That sounds good," said the fox, and he let her go. Grandma walked deeper into the jungle. Gut, gut, gut. In a while, she came upon a shaggy black bear. "Ah, Grandma," he said, flexing his claws and sharpening them on a nearby rock. "How nice of you to arrive just when I am so hungry." Grandma's heart went dunk, dunk, but she didn't let the bear see how scared she was. "If you're planning to have me for lunch," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how thin I am? I'll be a lot fatter on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then, if you like." "That sounds good," said the bear, and he let her go. Grandma walked into the deepest part of the jungle. Kut, kut, kut. Suddenly she came upon a sleek, striped tiger. "Ah, Grandma," he said, crouching low and swishing his tail. "How nice of you to arrive just when I am so hungry." Grandma's heart went doom, 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 but she didn't let the tiger see how scared she was. "If you're planning on having me for dinner," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how bony I am? I'll be a lot juicier on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then, if you like." Grandma reached her daughter's house. She had a wonderful time there, playing with her grandchildren and telling the neighbors all about her adventures in the forest. She worked in her daughter's garden, watering, digging, and sprinkling the ground with her special fishbone fertilizer until the vegetables grew so large that people from 3 villages came to admire them. She ate the delicious dishes her daughter cooked, and just as she told the forest animals, she grew quite plump. But Grandma missed her dogs. She wondered if they'd guarded her garden or if they'd let the mice and birds eat everything up. But finally, she told her daughter, "It's time for me to go home. Kalu and Bulu are waiting for me, and so is my vegetable garden. The only problem is the tiger, bear, and fox are waiting for me too. And this time I won't be able to trick them with words." "Don't worry," said the daughter. "We'll come up with a plan." The two of them went into the garden so they could think better, and when they saw the giant gourds they had grown, they knew exactly what to do. The daughter picked the biggest gourd and hollowed it out. Grandma climbed inside. The gourd was quite comfortable because its walls were as thick as a mattress and its rind was as tough as a rhino's hide. The daughter gave Grandma some puffed rice and tamarinds to eat on the way and stitched the top of the gourd back on tightly and sealed it with rice glue. "Now no one will know it is you," she said. She took the gourd to the edge of the jungle and gave it a strong push. Grr, 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 the gourd began to roll down the jungle path. In a while, the gourd reached the part of the forest where the tiger was waiting for Grandma. Because he had never seen such a large gourd, the tiger didn't know what it was. "What a strange creature!" he cried. He sniffed around the gourd, but because it was all sealed up, the tiger couldn't smell Grandma. In a thin, high voice, Grandma chanted, "I'm just a rolling gourd singing my song. Won't you give me a push and help me along?"
"Oh, I guess I could do that," said the tiger. "I wonder when that old woman's coming back, though. I'm getting terribly hungry."
It rammed the gourd with its head and sent it bouncing down the path. "Darum, darum, darum, darum," bounced the gourd. "Blup, blup," said Grandma. "That was close. It's a good thing the flesh of this gourd is so soft, or my bones would be shaking like the stones inside a rattle." And she ate some puffed rice and tamarinds. In a while, the gourd reached the part of the forest where the bear was waiting. He too didn't know what the gourd was.
"What a strange creature!"
he cried. He sniffed around the gourd, but because of the rice glue, he couldn't smell Grandma. Grandma chanted, "I'm just a bouncing gourd singing my song. Won't you give me a push and help me along?"
"Guess I could do that," said the bear. "Wonder when that old woman's coming back, though. I'm getting terribly hungry."
He gave the gourd a powerful swipe with his paw and sent it spinning down the path. "Chapat, chapat, chapat, chapat," spun the gourd. "Bop, bop," said Grandma. "That was close. It's a good thing the walls of this gourd are so thick and strong, or by now I'd be dizzy as a dervish." And she ate some puffed rice and tamarind. The gourd rolled and bounced and spun until it was almost at the edge of the forest. Only a little while longer, thought Grandma. Just then the gourd reached the part of the trail where the fox was waiting for Grandma. "What's this now?" he cried, sniffing around the gourd. Grandma chanted, "I'm just a spinning gourd singing my song. Won't you give me a push and help me along?" The clever fox said, 101 times I've sneaked into villages to steal chickens, but I've never seen a singing gourd. Something odd is going on here." He grabbed the top of the gourd with its sharp, pointy teeth and shook it back and forth until the rice glue cracked and the stitches broke off. Out fell Grandma. Thump, thrush! "Ah, Grandma," grinned the fox. "How nice and plump you look. Whatever were you doing inside a gourd?" "Oh, you caught me fair and square," said Grandma. "I guess you deserve to eat me up. I have a request. Can I sing one last song before you start chewing on me?" Oh, all right, said the fox, drooling a little. Just don't make it too long. I won't, said Grandma. At the top of her voice, she sang, Kalu-boo-loo, too-too-too. Kalu-boo-loo, come to me, do. Kalu-boo-loo, I need you. Back in the village, Kalu and Bulu heard Grandma's voice. They knew she was in danger. So quick as the wind, whoosh, whoosh, they flew into the forest, fangs bared, growling horribly. They chased that fox away, scaring him so much that he never came back. Grandma gave her dogs a big hug. Thank you, boys, she cried. You saved my life. Woo, woo, said Kalu and Bulu modestly. It was nothing. When she got back to her hut, Grandma was delighted to see that her garden was chock full of vegetables. Kalu and Bulu had done a good job. She picked the freshest ones and cooked a delicious pot of khichdi with lentils and rice, cauliflowers and peas, and shiny white potatoes as big as your fist. And together, they ate it all up. The end.
Aw, good dogs.
I have one more story. This one's about why it's rude to eat others. It's from the Congo in Africa. The river that goes right along here.
Ah, just south of Ghana.
There's Ghana. That's where Anansi's stories come from. Anansi got around a lot in Africa, so maybe he told this story too.
Probably.
This story is called Crocodile and Hen. It's a Bakongo folktale. It's retold by Joan M. Lexau. Pictures by Doug Cushman. Day after day, Hen went down to the river to look for food. One day, Crocodile saw Hen. I'm going to eat you, Hen, said Crocodile. He opened his mouth wide. My brother, don't eat me, said Hen. She had so little fear of him that she looked at him with one eye. She looked at him with her other eye. Then she looked away. Crocodile shut his mouth. Snap! He could not eat Hen. He just could not do it. He was so surprised at Hen that he went on his way. But then Crocodile said, Hen called me brother. How can I be her brother? How could she be my sister? I am called Crocodile. She is called Hen. The next day, Hen went down by the river to look for food. Crocodile saw Hen. Now I'm really going to eat you, Hen, said Crocodile. He opened his mouth wide. My brother, don't eat me, said Hen. She had so little fear of them that she shut her eyes and fluffed her feathers. Crocodile shut his mouth. Snap! He could not eat Hen. He just could not do it. He was so surprised at Hen that he went on his way. But then Crocodile said, How can I be Hen's brother? How can Hen be my sister? I am called Crocodile. She is called Hen. I live in water. She lives on land. The next day, Hen went down to the river to look for food again. Crocodile saw Hen. Today I'm really going to eat you, Hen, said Crocodile. He opened his mouth wide. My brother, don't eat me, said Hen. She had so little fear of him that she put her head down for water. She put her head back up to drink. Crocodile shut his mouth. Snap! He could not eat Hen. He just could not do it. He was so surprised at Hen that he went on his way. But then Crocodile said, How can I be Hen's brother? How can Hen be my sister? I'm called Crocodile. She is called Hen. I live in water. She lives on land. I have fine scales all over me. She has silly feathers all over her. Crocodile went out of the water. He walked on the land. As he walked, he said, "I must ask the wise old woman about this." Crocodile saw his friend Lizard. Lizard said, "Friend, why do you look so sad? Can I help?" Crocodile said, "No, you can't help me. I'm sad about Hen. She looks so fat and good to eat. But when I'm about to eat her, she says, 'My brother, don't eat me.' So I'm on my way to ask the wise old woman about it." Said Lizard. Crocodile said, "How can I be Hen's brother? How can Hen be my sister? I am called Crocodile. She is called Hen. I live in water. She lives on land. I have fine scales all over me, and she has silly feathers all over her." Said Lizard. "I said you can't help me," Crocodile said. Lizard said, "What do scales and feathers and all that matter? Don't ask the wise old woman about this, my friend. You will just look silly." "But," said Crocodile. "This must be it," said Lizard. "Hen lays eggs. Ducks lay eggs. Turtles lay eggs. Lizards lay eggs. And crocodiles lay eggs. We are all alike in this, so in this way, we are brothers and sisters." "I, Crocodile, am brother to Hen? Hen is sister to me?" said Crocodile. "Didn't Hen just say so? Didn't I just say so?" said Lizard. "Oh, drat," Crocodile said. "That is too bad, that fat, good-to-eat hen." But the next day, Crocodile went to look for Hen. He wanted to talk to her as a brother should. Crocodile saw Hen and he said, "How good to meet you again, sister." "It is always good to meet you, brother," said Hen. And that is the way it was ever after with Crocodile and Hen. The end.
That story makes a good point, oh well. I may be the whole world, and you may be a large aquatic mammal who swims in my water. But we are both big and blue, and therefore maybe we are siblings. Either way, the story does make me think of all the stories we tell together. How all around the world we are all different, but there are many things we share in common. Like our love of stories. That is enough to connect us all together. See you next week.